earliest reference to astrology are to be found in a surprising place in the pagan Holy Bible. Evidence also lies here in the ancient ruins of the Holy Land. In 1932, archaeologists unearthed a 4th century synagogue in Israel. To their astonishment, they also unearthed something totally unexpected. In the very center of the temple, they find a beautiful mosaic of the zodiac. Its discovery baffles scholars who have long believed that astrology was strictly forbidden in Judaism.
There shall not be found among you any that practice divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. Deuteronomy 18:10.
If Judaism frowned upon astrology, how then did the zodiac become the centerpiece of a synagogue? Some scholars now believe that, contrary to long-held belief, astrology may not have been forbidden in ancient Israel.
The relationship of the ancient Hebrews or Israelites to astrology is a rather complicated one. What the Bible actually condemns is the worship of stars as if they were gods. The Bible has absolutely no problem with the idea of the stars being the messengers of God, or symbols of the will of God.
Unlike earlier civilizations, Judaism did not see astrology merely as a means of prophecy. The temple zodiac may have been a symbolic portrayal of the great cycle of the year and the presence of a supreme being among the stars. Some scholars see the New Testament as the place where astrology plays a more active role in human affairs.
Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and have come to worship him. And lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. Matthew 2:1.
The story is one of the best loved of all religious tales. How 3 wise men from the east see a bright new star in the heavens. They follow the star to Bethlehem, where they discover a manger. Inside, they recognize a newborn child as the Messiah and offer him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, paying homage to the child as their Redeemer. What was the Star of Bethlehem? Could it have been an actual astronomical event? And who were the mysterious wise men or magi who followed the star?
The 3 magi of this story were definitely astrologers, and observing the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn in Pisces, they may have thought like this. Pisces traditionally ruled Judea. Saturn traditionally signified the Jews, and Jupiter definitely signifies kingship. So they may well have deduced that the king of the Jews was being born in Judea.
Whether or not the 3 wise men were astrologers, the question remains, what did they see in the sky? Were they witnesses to an extraordinary astronomical event? An exploding star or supernova? 20 centuries later, the question still sparks controversy.
There are rationalist historians, and I'm not entirely sure I disagree with them, who question that there was such a phenomenon at all. There are a number of things we can eliminate immediately. It was not a supernova, because there are none recorded by anybody else at the time in question. It was probably not a comet, because that would have been noticed by other people.
It was not until the 17th century that the father of modern astronomy, Johannes Kepler, devises a radical theory to answer the riddle of the Star of Bethlehem. In the early 1600s, Kepler observes a rare conjunction of the planets Jupiter and Saturn. They appear to the naked eye as a single, dazzling new star. Kepler calculates that the last time this dramatic conjunction had taken place was the year 7 before the Common Era. Is this the actual date of Jesus' birth? Could this have been the Star of Bethlehem? Some astrologers assert that someone born on the date of the star in 7 BCE is potentially a person capable of making a lasting impact on history.
Kepler suggested that the Star of Bethlehem was this conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in Pisces. It took place in 7 BC, and it seems that he was right about that. And if the fascinating thing is that if you draw up a birth chart or a nativity for somebody born on the 22nd of August, 7 BC, every single planet is in its own sign, the sign that it naturally rules, the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, and so on, which would be an extraordinary birth chart to have.
Astrologers believe that someone born under this conjunction of the planets would be destined to change the world. Though astrology was frowned upon by Christianity, over the centuries, belief in the power of the stars steadily grew. By the Middle Ages, astrology was part of the curriculum taught at European universities. Rulers often based decisions of state on astrologers' advice. In the 15th and 16th centuries, Europe witnesses an unrivaled flowering of art, science, and exploration. In this period of cultural ferment, astrology flourishes. During the Renaissance, there is perhaps no more intriguing figure than Dr. John Dee. Astrology enables him to foretell the destiny of a queen. Born during the reign of King Henry VIII, Dee was the finest mathematicians and scientists of his time. His study of optics lays the groundwork for Galileo's first telescope. The year is 1555. Though Dee is widely known as an astrologer, he is nevertheless surprised when he receives a summons to draw up a horoscope for his usual client. None other than a member of the royal family, Princess Elizabeth. England is in the throes of a succession struggle, and the youngest daughter of Henry VIII has been placed under house arrest. Queen Mary feels threatened by the young prince, and it is rumored that Elizabeth is scheduled for execution. Fearing for her life, the desperate Elizabeth summons Dee to her future. Is she destined for the execution block, or will she survive her ordeal?
John Dee was a remarkable character in 16th century England. He was very learned in many disciplines that might today strike us as an odd combination: mathematics, but also magic; astronomy, but also astrology.
Dee learns the time and date of the imprisoned princess's birth and begins to calculate her chart. What Dee discovers astonishes him. To Elizabeth's amazement, Dee reports that instead of execution, she faces a very different fate.